Crazies, man. Y'all are in the lab. Lee here. Y'all saw that title too as well, man. We are doing a Mandela Effect montage. Shorts montage to be precise. That is correct. I've been doing those Mandela Effect montage shorts. It's just how it's going to work right here. I've been doing those short videos for everybody on those nights, and I've been seeing them popping off. And you know, they're just snippets from the videos that I have already put out. And it is amazing. It's nice to give people that idea. I see so many people, especially on TikTok and on YouTube, waking up to these Mandela effects for the first time, and it is blowing their minds away. And it's also a good way to put a nice little minute short of a Mandela effect in there. So today we are just doing a little montage of that. We're showing about 20 of them. As you see, it's about 20-something minutes long video. So do sit back, grab you something to drink or smoke and indulge into, you know, enjoy these little shorts. You know, I think this is nice, and it's going to be something we're continuing to do. I do have some new Mandela effects on the works. I just need a few more because, you know me, I like to put out more than a few just for my videos, just because I like people to stay engaged. I think that's a good way too. Like, some people like long videos, some people like short videos. Sometimes I feel like I'm in between, maybe not long enough. Maybe this will be too long for everybody. I don't know, but who cares? I enjoy doing these things. But you will see a new Mandela effect coming up sometime this week. I do promise you that. With that though, if you enjoy this at any time, y'all please remember to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and leave those comments down below, because remember, all of it's free, ladies and gentlemen. And with that too said, man, y'all sit back and enjoy this little montage of these Mandela Effect shorts. Enjoy. King Tut and his helmet, his little spot, what he has on top of his helmet. So much residual evidence of King Tut just having the cobra on his head, and it is crazy, it's odd. There's pictures, there's costumes, it is amazing. The Luxor in Vegas too as well, and you know, they do everything to the T, so why would they still have the one cobra on it? See, no vulture, no vulture, no vulture. With that too is said, Saturday Night Live, Miss Stephen Martin himself. Check it out.
Golden idol. He's an Egyptian. Simpsons by the Nile.
Enlargement of the Thinker in bronze. The original was purchased by the French government and placed in front of the Pantheon in Paris, from which it was removed after his death and placed...
Right, absolutely. Now, let me... Great one.
You sure?
Absolutely.
And you gave it careful consideration?
Sure? Absolutely.
And you gave it careful consideration?
Jay, I did the thing. I did this. Only other time I do this is when I'm on the toilet.
Movie Toy Story, the first one, the original, and we're going to Pizza Planet, and the scene where they get locked into the ship and they see all the little aliens, and they're going, one of us, one of us, one of us. But what if I told you they never, ever, ever said one of us? Yes, you heard me right. They never said one of us. It's not in the movie. I've checked it. I've watched it, seen 1,000 times. They never say one of us. It is so odd. It is so weird, because there's memes saying one of us, one of us. And I don't fully understand it. It blows my mind to the fullest. Toy Story again, getting rocked with another Mandela effect. But how do you remember this one? Do you remember the Martians always greeting and going, one of us, one of us? Or do you remember it the way Beaker from the Muppets? Yes, Beaker always said meep, meep. Yes, meep, meep. Well, listen to this. He no longer, or has never, said meep. Yes, you heard me right. You have never heard Beaker from the Muppets say meep. which is crazy to me because if you look it up on Google, you look it up on a little bit of residue on that little baby Muppets, but you look under residue of this on Google and you still see meep all over Beaker. It's got meep, pictures of meep all over the place. It is wild. It is crazy. It blows my mind. But what do you remember? Do you going to be talking about the Scary Movie? Yes, Scary Movie and Marlon Wayans and that famous line that he quoted from that great movie Sixth Sense. Well, listen.
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure, man.
I see white people.
Is that exactly how you remember hearing it? Exactly what he said? I see white people. Well, what if I told you, and everybody who thought that, that is exactly not the way he said it at all in this reality at all. He never says white people. This is the original saying, which you will see in this reality today.
Secret?
Sure, man.
I see dead people.
Yes, you heard it. He says, I see dead people. And we all know that wasn't the line because the opening scene, the opening intro of The Simpsons. There's so many intros of The Simpsons, but they're all the same. And this one has to do with Lisa. Here you go. Now, did you notice Lisa's saxophone? Did you notice saxophone? What color was the saxophone? Yeah, you see it. Saxophone was gray, right? Gray. It's gray in there, all that. It's gray. That is correct. You saw it right. It is gray. But the Mandela effect in my memory and many other memories is that her saxophone was never gray. It was gold. Like this. Gold. That is how I remember her saxophone. This Mandela effect has to do with Smokey the Bear. And if you've been saying Smokey the Bear and pronouncing his name like that, yes, that is correctly how I remember it too as well. But apparently it's never been Smokey the Bear. It's always been Smokey Bear. That sounds odd, don't it? Smokey Bear. It just doesn't ring to me. But don't take my word for it.
Smokey the Bear is entering his golden years, turning 70 years old today. He's evolved over the years and is even sending out selfies these days and blogging. But as ABC's Brandy Hitt tells us, his message remains the same.
Surprise! Today, Smokey the Bear is turning 70.
Fires.
And people have listened. Research showing 96% of Americans recognize Smokey, right up there with Santa Claus and Mickey Mouse.
I'm talking about Prince and the song Let's Go Crazy. Yes, Let's Go Crazy, but I'm talking about the beginning, the automatic beginning of this song where he says, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to celebrate this thing we call life." Well, what if I told you that we're not celebrating it? Listen.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life.
It's always been, get through this thing called life? What do you remember?
Take it easy. What the scallop? I'm a goofy goober.
Oh, I love SpongeBob SquarePants. I love being a goober, a goobity goober. I love it all. And we are talking about that famous guitar, the famous guitar that SpongeBob plays to release everybody from their helmets, to get their minds back from the chum bucket, to go in there and celebrate and go with the Krusty Krab because he's a goobly goobler. And you're picturing that guitar in your head right now, aren't you? Picture it, aren't you? Yeah. I'm throwing a picture up there for you right there. That is how I remember the guitar, right? The white guitar with the V on it, the V-neck. Oh, but in this reality, it never was that kind of V-shaped white guitar. It was always the peanut guitar, the peanut goobly goober guitar. Oh, it blows my mind because it destroys me. I don't ever remember it being the peanut guitar, I guess. How many people remember when you were a kid or growing up your whole entire life that you cannot put a metal fork in the microwave? Look at it, metal fork. We all grew up with that, right? Flip you around real quick. Microwave, fork, We'll clear that timeout. Turn it on. Y'all remember it used to spark back in the day? We were told never to put metal in a microwave. Well, apparently, as you see it's running, apparently, it's never been the case. Never been the case at all. You can put metal in the microwave. That fucker thing's gonna be warm. I'm telling you, but there you go.
Being a mirror, I see things from the other side. And there's something that's been wrangling me for ages.
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Getting the point? Good.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is fairest of them all?
Well, the bigger the bad guys are, the harder they fall.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, is this not the most perfect kingdom of them all?
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Now wait just a minute. This thing has gone too far.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
This one has to do with her attire. What is she wearing? What is the color of her skirt that she's wearing in this video? What is it? What is it? I know you see it. I know all you teenage guys out there back in the day know exactly what color that thing is. And if you were saying plaidly, if she was in that sexy plaid skirt with the little ponytails, we always wish we could be in that school. And I'm like, yeah, plaid like Wells. Well, we must have been dreaming in this reality or that reality, because it never was plaid at all. It is completely black. Black as day. They're all wearing black. But she also has pictures of her in that plaid dress, taking Halloween pictures. All these people, Halloween pictures, and dressing up like that in a plaid dress. It is crazy to me to even think about it. It blows my mind. But how do you remember her dress, her skirt in that video itself? I mean, I'm talking about McGruff, the crime-fighting dog. Yes, McGruff. And, well, as you see his picture right here, doesn't he look great, man, with that great detective hat on, his trench coat, ready to fight crime, to take a bite out of crime? But in this reality, and this present time of day, Mr. McGruff, the crime dog, never, ever wore a hat. He never wore that detective's hat, as you see right here. He never has had a hat and never was going to wear a hat, apparently. But in my reality, like I said, in million others' reality, Mr. McGruff, the crime dog, did wear a hat. He wore that little detective hat on his head, and he was taking a bite out of crime. And if you don't believe my reality and other people's reality with him wearing a hat, well, look at this.
You're in crowded prisons. Look, Lisa, it's McGruff, the crime dog. Hello, Lisa. Help me bite crime. Ruff, ruff.
And I roam the streets, looking for something that is nice.
Talking about Wednesday herself and her outfit. Now, in the older versions of the Addams Family, what color was her dress? Now, I'm gonna let you think here for a minute. Let you do. There you go. You're thinking, yes, if you are saying it was blackly in this reality, it's always been black, you're saying it's black? Yeah, well, guess what? You are wrong, ladies and gentlemen, just like I always remember a black dress, but that's not the case, because it always has had the flowers on it. Even in the second one, too, it has the flowers on it. It blows me away, but how do you remember Miss Wednesday from the Addams Family? Do you? That crazy cheesy cat slime going round, and I'm talking about Chester the cat, Chester Cheeto the cat. Yes, and his famous line, "It ain't easy being cheesy." Well, what if I told you it never was?
That goes crunch. It's not easy being cheesy. Cheetos cheese flavored snack, cheese that goes. It's not easy being cheesy.
It's not easy being cheesy. I always remember him saying, "It ain't easy being cheesy," and I am not the only one that remembers that too as well.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
Just like I remember it. It ain't easy being cheesy. How can...
Well, I haven't done anything good enough to deserve the 2 scoops of Kellogg's, so just give me the ordinary stuff.
You must have done something good.
Remember the Raisin Bran package. As I throw this up here for you right about now, as you see the sun, his 2 scoops of raisins going into the bowl. And if you remember that, how it's always been, well, you're correct, because it's always been that way in this, but in many realities, including myself, the Raisin Bran, the sun himself, wore sunglasses. Yes, I said it, he wore sunglasses. I remember the sunglasses as well. Enjoy this.
What a gorgeous day. Isn't it a gorgeous day, Mr. Sun?
It's always a nice day with 2 scoops of raisins, Peter.
Even good old Family Guy themselves depicted the Raisin Bran sun with sunglasses. But how do you remember this one? Do you steak sauce? If you use steak sauce, and I'm talking about A1. Yes, the classic A1 sauce, steak sauce. And as you see this picture on here, does this look right to you? Is this how you always remember it? Well, what if I told you it has never been that way? A1 has never had that hyphen or a little dot in the middle of the A and the 1. It has always been at the bottom. Yes, as you see right here, it has always been at the bottom of it. A little period at the A and a little period at the bottom of the 1. It has always been that way. But I remember it the way you saw it in the beginning with the line or in the dot. As how I remember A1 sauce. And as you see right here, here is evidence as of well too of it being a little hyphen or dash, give or take. That might be the changes of the Mandela effect in work and years and after years. But I remember it with the dash in the middle. I don't remember it ever having a little dots the way it is now. I thought this... Yes, and we're talking about Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again video. And the missing piece of equipment here. Take a look at these dolls, these action figures, whatever you would love to call them, the replicas of Britney Spears in the Oops, I Did It Again video dolls. And do you see a piece of equipment that belongs on the head that is missing from this video? That is correct. You do see the headpiece, the microphone, that is no longer in the Oops, I Did It Again video. If it was never in the video, why McGuire, you already know, Hillary Duff, even did something about that too as well. Why?
Ooh, the halter with the bare midriff. Oh, and my black hip huggers. It'd be so Oops, I Did It Again.
Done my sentence, but committed no crime.
Youngs of the world, it's always there. Here, listen.
We are the champions.
And so many people, like myself, remember the end of that song being of the world.
We are the champions. Losers, 'cause we are the champions.
Of the world.
Does he not do enough the world? I always thought he did enough the world.
Crazy.
I really should have. That's really rough, man.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
Life was like a box of chocolates.
No, I am your father.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
How did you win this?
Well, I entered that publisher's sweepstakes thing. I licked all those magazine stamps and stuck them on my entry.
You sent in all those stamps?
All except Red Book. It's still stuck to the roof of my mouth.
Just how many magazines did you win?
Check the front porch. sweepstakes? You'll subscribe to hundreds of magazines. What explains this personal thank you note from Ed McMahon?
Ah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I like watching Mandela Effect videos. I like watching videos that intrigue me. I love seeing the awes and faces of the new ones that are waking up to it. And just seeing, even if they're old or they're new, seeing how people bring them out. I know that was just me, but that's why I enjoy the Mandela Effect and people who do this Mandela Effect phenomenon videos, because it's just one of those things that, yeah, you know that Mandela Effect, but there's always some new evidence, there's always something found, and everybody does their presentation a little bit different than me. And I think that's great. That is wonderful about this community. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me know which one got you going. Which one started you off in the Mandela Effect series? What made you jump down that rabbit hole of Mandela Effects? And with that too, which new ones would you love to talk about that you see out there in the world? Like I said before, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, because all of it is free. Leave me your comments below, and remember, man, to keep your mind open, because both those eyes, including that third one, will definitely see everything in front of you. Y'all stay crazy.
You gave us something we never thought we could have.
And what is that?
Another chance.
I think I heard a shot. I think I heard a shot.